So good evening, Gary Marsh. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good. You've got a fantastic name, obviously.
Uh,
We're like brothers from another mother, or whatever they say.
yeah,
Same
the
name,
world,
bald
yeah,
heads.
the world's run out of Garys, I think.
It's true. They say we're dying out.
Yeah.
Do you know what? A funny story. A few years ago, went on a stag do. My brother-in-law and my father-in-law Gary was on the. I drove a minibus down to Brighton or somewhere. So my father-in-law Gary, cousin Gary, my brother-in-law's brother was Gary, and it's
Go.
like people on the bus are like, Gary, how long, and everyone's like, what? And it's just four on one
Gary
bus.
P, Gary B, Gary C.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how you been? I saw earlier. Obviously we're always on the different communities and stuff. But your day starts pretty early, doesn't it?
Yeah, I get up around about 5 o'clock every morning. It used to be 5:30, but for some reason the last few weeks it's become 5 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
I just try and get some paperwork and things done before I go to work. I'd be on the job for 8 o'clock. So I'm generally, it depends where we're working. I generally leave the house about 7 o'clock in the morning. But I try and get some, because obviously on the way back the previous night, I'm maybe just going pricing a couple of jobs.
Yeah.
And then obviously by the time I get in, I don't want to be doing paperwork because my wife goes mad. um, so
I'm not
I get
surprised
really,
because you've woke her up at 5 a.m.
I've got tipped off. I sneak downstairs with my iPad and my paperwork downstairs because my office is right next to the bedroom. So I go downstairs and do bits and pieces down there and obviously post on socials and things like that and try and get that out of the way before I go get some graft
Yeah.
done.
I mean, that's really like efficient. I did try it years ago, I must confess, because I used to do a morning sort of boot camp running around a field at 6 a.m. But I had to leave at like 5:30 in the morning to get to it. So I've
Yeah.
done that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I was like, oh, what about the days in between? I still get up at 5:30 and do paperwork, but it didn't last very long. I was,
No, I used to do the gym a while ago. That was a 5:30 start
hmm,
because I'm more of a morning person. I can
yeah,
get loads done in the morning, whereas in the night time, obviously if you're working all day, you're probably burnt out, so you can't be doing gym after like 5 or 6 o'clock in the night. Well, I
no,
can't anyway. Not at my age.
no. How old are you, Gary?
54.
Right, so you're still a youngster.
I'm still a kid.
But I mean, you're like, you're up at 5, and before we come on, I mean, it's 7:05 now. You said you've only been in half an hour, so
Yeah.
it's a long day.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
Mm,
See, I've been self-employed 30 years this year,
wow.
and I'm kind of used to what goes with it now.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I still enjoy it, so that's all good.
How did you get into it, Gary?
By accident,
Is it?
I've left school full intentions of going to catering college. Halfway through the summer holidays, I bottled it, uh, and I just went down the careers centre and said I want something in the building trade. Got put with a local firm on the old YTS CITB scheme,
Yeah.
£28.50 a week.
Nice.
Just started from there. Basically, just obviously you're on site for so many weeks, then you're in college for so many weeks, and back on site for a few weeks. That went on for like 3 years. So you did your apprenticeship 3 or 4 years, and then I did advanced craft for a year after that. And then obviously I was like time served. Just got it
Yeah.
that way.
So that was all decorating, an apprenticeship in decorating.
Yes, yeah. It was for a local decorating firm.
Wow. So really proper training. Um,
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. Obviously, college you learn like the basics, what paints were meant for wear,
mm,
and just basic. I mean, even just simple things like how to hold a brush and how to, and things like that. And obviously, I had your little beer in college where you sanded down wet and dry, and you
yeah.
glossing doors, and you did a little bit of this. Obviously, back then you did like marbling, a little bit of sign writing,
Yeah.
and things like that. And you obviously did bits of wallpapering. But obviously, I was quite lucky. The firm I work for, I got put with like an old school decorator,
Yeah.
shirt and tie and all that. And he was always on the private side of things. So I learned quite a lot from him where some of the lads who came in, they were putting like council repaints. So they were just like
Yeah.
bashing paint on. So I class myself as being really lucky to get put on that side of the firm when I started.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly reflects on what I see now online with your work. I mean, you do some great stuff. You're obviously an expert wallpaper hanger, see tons of your work. And I think obviously you've been going for so long, your reputation is obviously fantastic. And how many guys do you have working for you, Gary?
Two at the moment. Just
Right.
yeah, they're both younger than me. Because in the past, I've been self-employed 30 years, and I started employing in year two. So
Did
I've
you?
always employed somebody, normally between two and three people I've employed, but they've always been older most of the time.
Mm.
Guys who I used to work with at previous firms and things like that. But this time I've got two younger lads. I think it's 31 and 36, 37 they are. And they're really good lads. And we make a good team. And the customers love them as well, which is most important.
So that's interesting. You've always employed, or have you subbed and CIS?
No, employed properly with the
Yeah.
holiday pay and things.
I was speaking to, we had a little meet up in Hertfordshire with some wizards, and a guy called Dan Goodchild come along, and he employs a couple of people. I'm sure he employs them, but it's interesting that you do employ them because you see all the time that people sub out to other
Yeah,
painters. By the time you pay them and the CIS and all the rest of it, people seem to struggle to get that balance right where they earn a decent enough
yeah,
profit off them
uh-huh.
to make it worthwhile. So I'll be interested to hear, I don't, not what you're paying, but how it kind of
Yeah.
works. I mean, I'm guessing over the years you've still had to be hands on because you love it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
to make up like, well, I guess it just makes it a little bit easier in terms of your workload.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because obviously, when you're working by yourself, anybody who's by themselves is watching, they know the crack. That it's full on,
Yeah.
and I'm quite lucky to have two lads. So like now, I've stopped working Fridays.
Yeah. Good.
Friday mornings, I go to the local B&I group
Yeah.
on a morning for the
Yeah.
meeting, and then a bit network, and then on afternoon, the plan was admin. But it's never worked out that way at the moment. I end up going maybe pricing a couple of jobs, but I do get a chance to finish early. But having two lads who work for us, it's it's good because, like, say, you can. My part is plan work in for them, keep them busy. Then I can like fit jobs in for myself, type of thing. Like, say, I'm still like working like 4 days a week. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, you're working nights. When you're self-employed, you're 24 hours a day
You
technically.
are. Yeah.
But like I say, it's the reason I went down the proper employment route is because I think it gives the employee more guaranteed of being kept on, if you know what I mean. Because if you're
Yeah.
subby, you can maybe fit between firms. It's better for me as well because if you're subcontracting somebody for say, oh, I want you in for like 6 weeks,
Yeah.
they come in, then they maybe say you're going somewhere else after that, and you maybe have some more work, but you can't get them. Where if you're
Yeah.
employing somebody, you've got them 5 days a week,
Absolutely.
which
And
makes it.
your
Plus, it gives
work,
them guarantee as well if like they've got work all the time.
yeah, and they'd be more loyal to you. And
Yes, that's
'cause I guess
that's the whole plan.
if they're a subby and then some other firm says, "Yeah, I'll pay you 20 quid more a day," or
Oh,
whatever, they're going to jump ship, aren't they?
yeah.
In terms of your work, is it just domestic stuff that you do?
It's mainly domestic, yeah.
Yeah.
I have done commercial in the past, but I swayed away from it because one, getting paid. Some of these big companies now that are 90 days.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
With it being a small business, even though I've got like two lads with them, your cash flow is very small.
Yeah.
You can't be afford to wait in like 90 days. 30 max, I'm happy with. But even then, it's sometimes if you pull the load out on labour and materials, you're waiting that 30 days to get paid and things.
Oh,
So I swayed
100%.
away from that. And builders, I don't do work for builders because they basically want you there when they want you there. And
Yeah.
I like to be organised. I like to know what day I'm going where and when I'm going to finish. And I like being planned and organised ahead. I've always been that way.
Yeah. I mean, my brother's a builder, and he'd often say, "Oh, we've done this extension and it's straightforward. It's all new plaster, it's all new woodwork." And you go in and it's just like, I think they're the worst jobs.
Yeah,
One, you can't guarantee whether it's a good plasterer. two, you've got all the door frames, you've got all the knotting, you've got all the pinholes, you've got all the caulking. It's like it's a huge amount of work to get it
Plus,
looking right.
it's never ready when they say it's going to be ready. Builders
Yeah,
are
true.
always run behind. Because let's say your pencil, April the 14th we're starting. Gary, it's 2 weeks late. So you're like, what do you do?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
they'll say, oh, I want you next week. We've got some bits we want to do. And I'm like, no, I've got work booked in. So
yeah.
I've kept away from builders. Plus, they're notoriously bad payers as well.
I'm saying nothing. Not that my brother's on social media, but if someone hears it, he'll be
No,
like,
no, not all builders then.
no, my brother's very efficient in paying.
Yeah.
Interesting you said about BNI networking. I done it years ago, and I've still got one or two contacts from a long, long time ago. I
Uh-huh.
found I did get work, um, but I don't know whether they were run differently in the past because I brought in the most money to the um, chapter or whatever they're called,
Uh-huh.
and I was on like this spreadsheet. I was in the red zone because I didn't do enough to one with other members
Yeah.
and that
Uh-huh.
kind of stuff. And I was just like, really? Isn't it about bringing money in? And it just
Yeah.
annoyed me.
You got
So
to
I
fill all
left.
the factors, I think. You got referrals, visitors,
Yeah.
obviously the money in as well. And there's a few different factors you've got to. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get us wrong. I'm quite low down because I've just it's hard to get visitors because
It is
you get
hard.
lots. Yeah, because obviously if you're working by yourself all the time, you're not in
Yeah.
contact with like people to like try and get one referrals and get visitors to the chapter.
Yeah.
So I try and like be more positive in other ways.
Yes.
Like,
But do you find you get a bit from it? Because I reckon they are a good idea.
yeah, was actually another decorator who from down south who recommended it. He goes, "Oh, Gary, you being like business savvy, you'll love that kind of thing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, right." And so I went. I was expecting all shirt and ties, like like me walking with me hoodie on with all my logos on and things. But
Yeah.
it was a good mix of people. There's trades there. There was like accountants. There's obviously mortgage advisors and things. But they're all it's a good group of people. We're all quite relaxed. It's not stuffy at all. I only joined last August, and they reckon it takes 6 months before you start generating work for yourself. But obviously, you got to refer work for other people as well until
Yeah.
you get like people get to trust you and things. But I've at the minute I'm finding it really, really good.
It's like in business in general, isn't it? The whole know, like, and trust factor. You've been established for 30 odd years, 30 years. People know you, they like you, they trust you. It's just you build up a big database. It's just a repeat work, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And see, obviously, I've joined things like I'm a Dual Select decorator. I'm
Yeah.
a member of the PDA just to give people that little bit more trust. Because
Yes.
I've done that. I've been a member of them probably 28 years. It's
Yeah.
just basically it was to set me aside from other decorators
Yeah.
and then give obviously customers trust. Obviously, have the Dulux brand behind us, the
Yeah.
PDA, which has been going donkey's years. It was called
Yeah.
something else back then.
Yeah.
Just backing us really, so people trusted you more.
Yeah. Funny enough, I did PDA. Um, I don't I don't know if I gave it long enough, but I didn't get much from it.
Uh-huh.
Um, but then, like you say, it's a trust kind of factor, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's one of the main reasons I probably joined it.
Yeah. So I take it the two guys you've set them up with a van and stuff like that. Do you?
Yeah, yeah. We've got
Yeah.
like I've got two vans on the road. It depends on the size job. Sometimes the three of us will work together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have one of the lads with me. Sometimes one of the lads will be with Lewis, and because Lewis and Dave are the lads who work for us. And it depends on the size of the job. We'll just mix it around.
Yeah.
But I think I've got two, you got to have two vans on the road when there's three of you. I mean, I go back to even when there was just two of us and I had one van. It was a pain because see, I had two jobs on. You're going dropping somebody off,
Yeah.
dropping all the gear off on that job. Then you go to your own job, and you were like, weren't getting started till after 9.
Yeah.
And
I done all that in
then
the past.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're finishing early to go and pick them up.
Mm.
and
I had one guy, Craig. He's in my group. Worked for me for a long time. Brilliant decorator. But then I had another another guy, not so good. And at one point, like you say, I was sort of getting boxes for them, setting them up, offloading boxes, going to mine. And I did try a van, um, but they not Craig, but the other guy kind of run it into the ground. and I'd get it all sort of set up, all stuff in boxes, all neat and
Yeah.
tidy. I'd look at it at the end of the week and just be sort of shit, chucked in the back of it. They run out of diesel twice because you didn't have £5 to put in it. I was just like, oh man. And I guess the point I'm coming to is like, you've always employed people. I think people who've got burnt in the past kind of just say, right, I'm doing it by myself. Have you ever
Yeah.
got burnt in the past, like with dodgy employees, or have you always been quite lucky?
I've been quite lucky. Obviously, I've had somewhere of getting them, and you try and mold them into what you want, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think it's only maybe one in the past where I let us down slightly, because I got a complaint of a customer, and it was for something simple, like it was runs on a door. It was actually curtains, a curtain on a door, and I'm like, it's
Yeah.
like schoolboy stuff that.
Yeah.
And the only problem was it was in a cul-de-sac where I had 6 other customers,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that would go straight around to them.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of other things as well where, for instance, you know, I should have noticed at first where when on the first job and he started rolling the ceiling before we'd cut it in, and just
Yeah.
little things like that. Then we're glossing the staircase and he started on the skirting boards first when we had windowsills to do first, then doors and frames, then skirting boards last.
Yeah.
It's about systems, and
Yeah.
you just pick up little things that I think,
Yeah. I mean, I
mm,
had a guy, I'd look back just, through conversation, it sparks memories. I had a guy once, he'd been painting for like 50 years or something crazy. And he was looking for a bit of part-time work. I was desperate on a
yeah,
job. And he was like cutting in round a light switch and just slapping it on with a brush with these, you know, deep groove brush marks, not even like rolling it out, to smooth it out. And he goes, "No, you don't use a little mini roller, just brush around it all, didn't release them." And I was like, "You've really been painting 50 odd years or whatever it was, 60, it's ridiculous." And he was just like, "Yeah, yeah, that's how I do it." And I'm like, "Oh man,
yeah.
come on. We're in a nice property here. It's got to be done really well, Don't want to see any brush marks
I think
whatsoever."
what sometimes it is obviously you somebody who says I've been decorating 50 years, and they haven't getting better over them 50 years.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
They just stayed where they are
Yeah.
continuously through them 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They haven't
100%.
like improved themselves, which most modern decorators now are always trying to improve themselves. I know I am. I
Yes.
say 54, I'm always trying to excel to be the best I can be.
Yeah.
Because I think you've got to be in this day and age because there's that many people out there now and you got to try and be better, so to speak.
Yeah. It's interesting, like when I set up Brush Wizards about 5 years ago, I was very much in my own bubble, like you just said. I've always been a good decorator, but I would go to my local shop, get the same products, didn't change products at all. And then set up Brush Wizards and, it started to grow quite quickly. And people were like, oh, yeah, that's Tickerilla and stuff. I was like, Ticker what? I'm on Google. Like,
Uh,
honestly,
no,
I've
I'm the
learned
same.
so much over the last 5 years. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
I think if it wasn't for like say, decorating forums and things like yourself, you wouldn't find about products. It's like,
No,
for instance, dustless sanding. I've been doing it probably 10 years now, but I wouldn't have known about it. I might have seen, but I wouldn't have realised lots of other people are using it. And you think,
that's right.
maybe I should be getting into that kind of thing.
How
Like
we
obviously with paint products and things and brushes and things, you'd stick with the same one you were with 20 years ago
Yeah,
because you hadn't seen
yeah,
what other people are using and give reviews on and things like that.
yeah. I mean, for a long time, I was like, it'd be Crown Oil, eggshell top coat, but bloody good stuff, it covered everything. But oh man, you look back and your eyes are streaming, your nose is
Yeah.
running,
Oh,
and oh, it's
especially
just
the old eggshells, they were really strong. Especially
God,
within an enclosed space, you're
yeah,
high as a kite.
that's what it's like, and but I put a post the other day in my group sort of saying, we're at a stage yet with water based where it's one undercoat, one top coat, like the old oil
I
stuff.
saw that
And
one, yeah.
yeah, people are like, well, yeah, if you spray or potentially one or two products, but even still, I'd rather put an extra top coat on just to have a better
I think
working environment.
yeah, I think with the water-based glosses, I think you've got to because you don't get that sheen level.
Yeah.
See, you put a undercoat or something on, then you've got two water-based glosses. If you just do the one, you get a sheen, but
Yeah.
not we would with the oil-based.
Yeah.
So you got to like give it two. Which
Yeah.
I mean, gloss-wise, we use it now and again, but I think most people are satin now anyway.
Yeah, satin, and even lately, quite a lot of eggshell, really.
Yeah,
Seems to have gone even sort of flatter. But yeah, it's funny how trends go.
yeah. I mean, it took me a while to switch from oil-based to water-based. I was a bit of a dinosaur at first.
Same,
Because I
same.
think at first, all the water-based products, like especially for woodwork, they weren't that good.
No.
Some of them that came out, they left brush marks, they didn't
Mm.
flow, they didn't settle. So I think one advised us once, see you paint a flush door with water-based gloss or satin, for instance, you have to spray it with a bit of water first to
Yeah,
get it damp, to get a decent finish. I'm thinking, no, you shouldn't have to be doing that. I'll go back to oil-based.
yeah, yeah. It's funny because my dad is a panel beater and sprayer by trade, and the old wet and dry. And you're talking about that. When he started working, he retired at 55, and then moved up north, come back down again. He's wanted to see the grandchildren and stuff, so he started working with me. So he worked for a number of years, and we'd use oil, and then I'd say, right, we're using water-based now. I'm not using this crap. I'm fed up of feeling terrible at the end of each day. And he just hated it so much. He's like old school, working on
Yeah.
the old London buses, and he said, I just can't stand it. He said, why are we doing this? There's an extra coat, and he really didn't like it. But I think
Uh,
he's converted now, albeit
yeah.
he's retired.
Plus, originally when they first came out as well, you had to put a primer on and then two coats of top coat.
Mm,
To, but if you, the old system was undercoat and gloss, two coats. But if you're doing say, a staircase with 20 doors, the
yeah,
price to a customer can go boom.
yeah, that's
It's like
right.
maybe 2 or 3 days extra work plus the materials. And
Correct.
some customers probably wouldn't go for that.
Yeah. Yeah, even now, it's even emulsion. Very,
Oh, yeah.
very rare it's a two-coat system.
It's nearly always three now with all
It is.
manufacturers, I think.
Yeah, and I get it, the environment, VOCs and all the rest of it, but you do have to, like you say, you have to factor it in now. But it's just,
Yeah.
I mean,
You got to start pricing for three coats.
I just done it was a Dulux Heritage Velvet Matte, which I love. I
Yeah, it's nice paint.
absolutely love it. But it was in Magnolia, which is unusual, but this customer loves Maggie everywhere.
Yeah,
And a fair bit of repair work to do, and spot primed it and stuff. Done two, and it was nowhere near,
yeah.
on the
For
lighter
some reason,
shades.
I think some
Um,
of these lighter shades they are taking sometimes three or four coats,
yeah,
but you can get like maybe it's a dark green and it goes in two, no bother.
yeah, yeah,
Even over like a white, it's
yes,
weird.
yeah. It is weird. It's I do a bit with Mylan's paints, and I've experimented with their darker colours, and they're just insane. Two coats on most dark colours. Yeah, no, there's so much out there. There's so much products. What do you, tend to use? Do you sort of break it up a little bit, or have you
Yeah,
got
I
that
am.
kind of stuff you use?
Even though I'm like a Dulux like decorator, I still mix my paints a bit.
Yeah,
At the minute, I'm mainly using McPherson's Eclipse on sealants.
really, still quality and cheap?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm starting to experiment with some of these um, classed as sealant paints at the moment.
Yes.
Dead flat. I'm experimenting with them at the moment because obviously McPherson's, as good as it is still not very good in critical light.
No.
You can still
No.
see roller marks and things like that. And so I'm experimenting with some of these specialist sealant paints at the
Yeah,
minute.
well, there's lots on the market now, isn't there?
Oh, just loads, isn't there?
Mm,
And normally walls, 9 times out of 10, it's Dulux. And woodwork wise, I'm obviously Benjamin Moore, the Scuffix or the Aura at the minute.
yeah. And there's always debate over ScuffX, isn't there?
Good eye.
I mean, I used it, when my last job I used it, and it was really great to use. And what's your opinion on, because there are forums and everyone talks and scrub
Yeah,
ratings and stuff like that. So again, before I set up Brush Wizards, it would never enter my mind that what I'm putting on some woodwork, but the
yeah,
customer will ask a scrub rating of it, and I would just do a scratch test. I would just kind of be like, that seems solid, or
yeah,
what's your sort of feelings on it in terms of, like, if, say, for example, ScuffX, you could say, oh, it's not as good as scrub rating as XYZ. What's your
yeah.
opinion on that?
But obviously, we've got research now because some people do ask, especially if it's going in the woodwork and because especially older people where they're used to oil based, because obviously
Yeah.
oil based is like probably bulletproof. Like the Scuffex, for instance. I know in America it's for walls,
Yes.
and over here for some reason we've used it on woodwork. But in the same respect, I've never had no problems.
No.
I can go back and because obviously I've got repeat customers. I go back to maybe 2 years later, and the woodwork's still spot on.
Yeah.
And so obviously it is working. I mean, even though I've talked to Benjamin guys, and they said, "Oh, Gary, try the Aura."
Yes.
That is for woodwork, and it's a similar finish. Which yeah, it's very similar. But you sometimes see you're doing a small room with the Scuff X, you can do 2 coats of woodwork on one day. The Aura you got to leave till next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I guess it depends, doesn't it, on properties? Like you say, if it's a
yeah,
bedroom, they're not going to go around scuffing skirting boards and,
no,
or, you know, it, and I guess it depends on whether it's commercial properties and, I'll probably look into it a lot more.
yeah,
Um, but it's not that I don't care. And it's maybe customers now are more informed because of the internet, but
yeah.
it just didn't exist any of this conversation years ago.
No, it didn't. You're right. Sometimes you got like if custom asks for a certain thing, you got to do a little bit of research because
Yeah.
you want to sound educated, even though we are educated, but just doubling make sure in certain things.
Yeah.
Like I say with woodwork and things, like I say, I've been back on jobs and the woodwork's been sound, and obviously as long as it's prepped right, and obviously if it's like a high traffic area where maybe it's got like loads of dogs, I might say, oh, maybe I'll maybe look for something else, maybe it's a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But again, you get stuck where you use a product you like and you know works,
Yes.
so you're sometimes reluctant to try other things.
It's interesting and again, knowing how products work. So I do a lot of cabinet work. So a lot of the spec is Farrow modern eggshell, which I like working with now, but you really got to adhere to the drying times on it. Otherwise you coat it up again and it's just a nightmare. And it just makes such a difference. Years ago, I'd be like coating it up. It wouldn't be 24 hours. And we had another guy from this firm doing the cabinets. He said, you just don't touch it. He said, just work around sections, leave that bit for a day or a couple of days
Yeah,
later, because they're normally big kitchens we do. And I did it and it was just like, oh man, it's such a difference.
it
So
does make a difference if you let the things dry the way they should.
yeah. And every
I
paint's
think
different. So you
that's
got to
it.
like
Yeah,
look
but
into it all.
sometimes you in the real world, sometimes you're in a hurry.
That's right.
It's like a case of like, oh, that woodwork on second coat, so I've got to come back for an hour next day to second coat that woodwork. Where technically, if I just hang on until back into today, I'm getting second coated and it'll still be
Yeah,
okay. Especially if it's like a distance, an hour and a half or an hour to the job, then you're doing an hour
definitely.
there. That's like 3 hours. Where if you just
Yeah.
sit like these modern, like the water-based ones, you can do 2 coats in one day, as long as like you do your first bit in the morning, maybe work the other way around, like do your woodwork, then do some of your walls, and drop out your woodwork later on. I know other people that do the woodwork first, then the walls. Everything's different ways now, and people
Yeah.
so the traditional way of sealing walls and woodwork, it's woodwork walls and ceilings, and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was like, because I was never trained or went to college, I was just self-taught. I literally put an ad in a paper. I've done bits at home and worked for some
uh-huh.
family friends for years and done bits and bobs, but nothing really. So I put an ad in a paper and, it rocked up at this first job in my XR2, all my gear in Tesco bags from B&Q, like I look back and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But self-taught, yeah, going on to, woodwork last or whatever. I guess working with my dad being a panel beater, he was all keen on taping and, that was part of
Yeah.
his kind of trade. So we always done ceiling woodwork and walls, taped up woodwork. And again, when I started Brush Wizards, I posted a hall stairs and landing job, I got tape all around the architraves, all around the
Uh-huh.
skirts. People are like, what the fuck? You're not a decorator and all this, but we turned it around into something fun, like being known
Yeah.
as a tape tart,
Yeah, I remember reading them. Yeah.
But it's just a way I've always worked. Looking back, the correct way especially with oil would have been woodwork last. And I know
Yeah.
it is the correct way in many ways
Well,
in
I think
people's
the
eyes.
water-based things have changed, haven't they?
Exactly. Yeah. So I look back again with curing times. I do like oil top coat, next day be masking up, and I would get pulls back in the day where it hasn't fully
Oh,
cured.
most oil based now takes ages to dry. I
Yeah,
know we get customers where even like the undercoat next day it's pulling with a gloss. You know, if
yeah,
you custom, it's not really all the clientele who like the oil based gloss because they've had it for years. They want it. So we can undercoat one day, the next day we'll go and it's still pulling.
yeah,
You got to put dries in your paint and everything to try and help it along.
yeah, definitely. So we know what paints you like. Um, what's your go-to brushes and bits and bobs? Have you got a favourite, or again, do you just try different stuff out?
I'm using Monarch brushes. They've brought
Yeah,
some like really class range out at the minute.
yeah,
And my favourite at the minute is with them. I think it's the Monarch Advance. I think it's the angle cutter or something like that.
yeah.
It's really it's a business. My favourite brush at the moment, yeah.
Do you find it's interesting, isn't it? It's like in you wouldn't believe I was speaking to a customer about a decorating world and how there's influencers and I know what some get paid and stuff. And she was like, really in the painting world? Like, do you believe certain brands do better because of like influencers behind it? Or
I
like
think some
Monarch, for example, it wouldn't be
uh,
if I was to put a post in the group saying, what's your go-to brush? What would be top of the list, and it wouldn't necessarily be
uh
Monarch. And it's just,
yeah.
it does have a lot of influence, doesn't it? Like, what's
Yeah.
spoken about.
I mean, admittedly, I collaborate with different brands.
Yeah.
Monarch being one of them.
Yeah, but no,
So,
but you've
but I'm
tried
not
it.
just yeah. But I do like things with different brands, but I don't just say things because maybe I'm getting some free
Yeah,
merch to use.
yeah,
Because I like to think people respect me enough. I'll tell them the truth, or I
yes,
won't just push a brand because I've getting something free. I work with people who obviously a lot of the ones I do like collaborate with, I don't like to use the word influencer. I work with it's products I've used for years, and then it turned in that way because I use it that much.
yeah. Yeah, like, I know you do a bit like Q1 and
Yeah.
Mercury and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
um, but all that's good stuff, and it's I think that's the problem. It's like, with me, was doing reviews and stuff, and I don't mind doing reviews, but at the same time, it was a difficult decision for me to say to a lot of my sponsors, "Look, I
Yeah.
don't mind doing it, but people are naturally gonna say, 'Oh, you're gonna say it's great because they sponsor you,'" you know? And it was a real
It's hard
dilemma
as
for Lisa and I of what to do with this because I
uh,
wanna promote products. So anyway, we're working slightly different this year, and one of it being a podcast and speaking to people and getting feedback from genuine painters and decorators, and we got
like
other plans.
their experience of it of the product.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because it just didn't feel right coming from me to
Uh-huh.
it, from people looking at no one ever mentioned it. Oh, it's because, I see on your group they sponsor you, but it just didn't sit quite right with me. And we've got plans for this year for other wizards to work with products. And then I'm going to be speaking to them like we're talking now and just having a chat and saying, how did it go? And what's your idea of it? Give them honest
It,
feedback. And then it's up to the,
I think people respect that more.
I hope so.
That's why, because I've done like reviews in the past, and when I first started doing them a few years ago, reviews for various forums and things, it was a case of right, I've got to say this is good, haven't I? Because I was all new to it.
Yeah.
Because you expect because you've been sent something to try,
Yeah.
you've got to say it good. But then when you get used to it, you think no, because people respect what you say, and if
Yeah.
you were to tell lies,
Yeah.
that reflects on you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that way. It's like
No.
some certain people have approached us in the past. I'm thinking, no, 'cause I know I don't like your product, so I can't
Yeah.
do anything with it. Even like, oh, just do as a reel with this paint or something.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like your paint, so I can't do it.
And the difficulty as well is like I like your edits and stuff like that and your reviews, but 90% of painters haven't got time. Not saying you've got time, you work bloody hard, but in general, most people don't know how to do it probably. They don't know how to edit their phone, they're busy,
Uh-huh.
da 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 da.
But it takes a
So
lot of time.
it does. And And that's my idea, is to right, let's try these products out. I'm going to jump on a call like we're doing here, even if you're on site, say, and just sort of say, how did you get on with it? I can send it to the sponsors. It might be negative and it's up to them what they do with it, but at
Yeah,
least it's honest. And never done a fake review, but there were, I guess what I'm saying is, because of our experience now through communities and chat and conversation, we know what's good and what's bad, don't we?
yeah,
So
and
I
exactly.
believe on any given job, it's no longer Dulux or Crown or whatever. It's various products for various
Oh,
substrates, and that's what makes it good. And then occasionally you discover something new.
yeah. Because back when I first started, it was probably 3 brands of paint.
Yeah,
And that was it.
yeah,
Well, now probably maybe 2 or 3 brands of brushes. Now you
mm,
got hundreds of brands of paint, brushes, rollers,
there's tons. It's insane.
everything. And plus, in the world, you've got like dustless sanders. There's various brands of that now. You got your sprayers, various brands of that,
Yeah,
different masking tapes. It's endless.
yeah, and it's good, but sometimes a lot of choice is quite difficult as well.
Oh, it
But
is.
again, people are honest in communities online. Everyone's
Yeah.
always chatting about stuff. So you might get the odd one where they say it's crap, but then if 80% say it's good, it's just that
The
person.
thing is, all right. I think that's why there's so many products because we're all like different things.
Yeah,
Some things that work for us don't work for somebody else.
true.
So I think that's the way it works that way.
Yeah,
Hence why there's so many products.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I know you're a wallpaper wizard. Uh,
Yeah.
like your work's brilliant. Do you get a lot of wallpapering jobs? Is it very popular still?
It is, yeah. Not as popular as it was years. It's still mainly feature walls at the moment,
Mm,
but people's swaying towards murals now, which is good. I enjoy doing them, but it's it's something I really enjoy because I don't know. It's just it's different.
yeah,
It takes more. There's more thinking involved
yeah,
in
definitely.
things like that. But we still get like full rooms. But I think it's slowly coming back into like people doing full rooms or full staircases again.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I hope so because, like I say, it's enjoyable to do. Plus, I think it looks better, and I don't know, just it looks more premium. If
I
you know what I
I
mean?
agree with you. I think it looks more. I I just done a bedroom, and I done it 6 years ago. Wallpapered it, very awkward arches, and it was all like
Yeah,
birds and patterns and quite a busy paper. But I loved it. Every time I went around the house, and I said, "Oh, your bedroom's brilliant." I'm proud
yeah,
of that job. And she's like, "Oh, we're changing it. We're stripping it all off." I was like, "No, you can't." you know, and oh Christ, there was so much work because we stripped it. The walls are like kind of just plasterboard, and then they had paneling put up, and we ended up just doing bits of paper inside these kind of paneling, and it looks good. And I didn't see it finished and furnished, but I still like the way it was before. It still
yeah.
just
Uh,
like you say, it brings a class and warmth to a house.
Plus, I think some customers don't realise a wallpaper on a wall will last longer than painted walls.
100%.
We just did a bungalow. Was it last week or the week before? And I papered it like 11, 12 years ago,
Mm,
and the paper still looks spot on. We
yeah,
basically went in, did all the ceilings and all woodwork again because
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with the paper. That's like 12 years.
Funny enough, another customer, I done their hall stairs and landing. It was a humongous papering job. We lined it all beforehand. I think it was about 20 rolls went in this hall stairs and landing, and it still looks brand new. It still looks amazing. And like you say, you just wouldn't get that with paint.
No, I think you've got to do it every 2 or 3 years with paint.
Yeah,
Okay, so the initial expense is more expensive because you're buying the wallpaper,
yeah,
but obviously longevity, it's pays for itself. I think that
yeah,
way on.
yeah, definitely. So have you got any more trips planned? I saw you went off to, was it Finland?
Finland, yeah,
That looked cool.
oh, it was mint. Yeah, we did one day where it was basically just going around the factories and learning all about the sanders and things and being educated. And the second day was like we did obviously the out in the snow buggies and things.
Yeah.
That was amazing. It's nice to be asked because that's something I would never. One, I probably wouldn't go to Finland. I would never do the snowmobiles, and obviously I wouldn't jump in a frozen sea.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, it's mad. Yeah, I'm going to Milan in, I think it's June with Q1.
nice.
We're gonna. There's all some people who like to work with Q1. We're going over there for a day or two to see obviously how they're manufactured and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. I
So it's
mean, again, that's what's good with getting involved in these companies. I was at the Dulux dog's 65th birthday party.
yeah, I saw
So
that.
that was really cool. You'd never know this stuff goes on. We've been down to Dorset, to Farron Ball, up to Manchester for Little Green, different trips out, which is
I
lovely.
think
It's just
yeah, I think
it's a
what it
great
is
industry.
I think once you do things on social media. I've been quite lucky. I've been on trips and things. I've been invited down to Slough, to the Dulux Academy and
Yeah,
things like that, and
yeah,
obviously how paint's manufactured. I've been on trips with Dulux as well. I was lucky enough to go to Vienna with them about 6 or 7 years ago. I got invited to
yeah,
Vienna on a trip there. I think by doing the social media, some people noticing you, and if you obviously buy their products, they're grateful back to you by the little
yeah.
trips and things like that.
I think you come across really, really well. And I remember speaking to you a few years ago and saying, look, get on socials, man, because you come across brilliantly. You know,
Uh-huh.
I fully believed you could create
I remember that
something.
conversation with you
Yeah,
because I think that's where I think the Diary of a Decorator I do now evolved from that conversation
yeah,
because you said do something. I was thinking, wait, do I do a podcast? Forums, there's too many. There's all forums now.
yes,
I'm not going to start on the forum, so that's why I came up with the Diary of a Decorator thing
yeah,
where you do reviews, product reviews, and like just the day life of a decorator, and business problems, and
yeah,
little tutorials, which I get really loads of good traction them at the minute. People's enjoying them.
yeah. No, I think you just, yeah, it's never easy getting your face on camera for a lot of people, but
Oh,
I still
I hated
believe
it
there's
first.
opportunities for decorators to create something because not many do it. And I still believe there's opportunities for
Yeah,
decorators to create their own stuff,
I
but
think
it takes a
as
lot of
long.
hard work.
Oh yeah, I think as long as you stay true to yourself,
Yes.
you don't be false. I just try and be like myself when I'm doing the. Actually get comments. Gary, it's nice to see you're just doing what you do, and
Yes.
you talk how you would normally. I'm not going to like dance in front of the camera and things like I'll just
Yeah.
like see how it is and how my day is going, or this is how we do this with the wallpapering, or
Yeah, you're
this
not
product
you're
I'm
not
using. I use it for this reason and things.
you're not worried about viral hooks and capturing their attention in the first few seconds. You're just being you, aren't you?
Yeah, I see. I mean, I've read up on things like that, but it's, again, you've got to spend to do all that kind of thing. You've got to like research and do so much time. So I'm
Yeah.
just happy just doing what I'm doing at the moment, just steady away. Obviously, I'm learning new things as I go along. Even the editing of the video. Obviously, the first it was just a case of right, I'll just glue them together. Obviously, but I mean, there is some apps now that do it for you. Basically, you just put your
Yeah.
bits in, and but again, that's something I've got to learn more of.
Yeah. And again, I guess that's the problem with most decorators. Don't have time to do it, and
Or
you
my
gotta
wife goes
be
mad.
consistent so much, haven't you?
Oh, I'm on my phone quite a bit, obviously, just
Mm,
checking things and putting things on. My wife will just sit there. Are you going to put the phone down? I'm like, yeah.
I know. It is hard. It's really hard. And yeah, it's like you say, being true to yourself. So like with Brush Wizards, it was started off as a well-being group, and it still is. There's still no toxicity in it. We still help each other, and it was still, even after all these years, I'm still thinking it's still my problem was working on my own sometimes, and the problems I
Oh,
had and anxiety and different. And that's why recently we created like the county hubs for
yeah, I
people
saw
to
that. Yeah,
get on WhatsApp, and people are starting to chat. They're starting to make friends. They're starting to exchange work, and I'm like, it's going to take time. It's going to take years. It's not overnight, but we are going to create these lovely hubs all over the UK
I,
where people can
yeah.
connect and not feel alone. Or if they've had a crap day, they can vent in the group before they get home. And do you know what I mean? I never had anyone to really talk to and sort of get stuff off my chest.
I
Apart from when
think
I was
now, like,
younger, you'd have a
oh
beer after
yeah,
work, but not
oh
when
Christ,
we
it's
started to have a young family.
I think what it is that like maybe the last 10 years with all the forums and you've got like trade shows and things like that. To me, there's a sense of community
Yes.
amongst decorators now because before, obviously, you didn't see each other because there's no forums.
Yeah.
Probably very you didn't go to trade shows and things. And now you talk to people online through various forums and things like that. Then you go to a trade show and somebody say, "Oh, you'll
Yeah.
spot somebody you've talked to
Yeah,
online,"
absolutely.
and you
Yeah.
end up like talking all day. You see none of the stalls and things because you're talking to people all
Yes.
day. I generally find.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I love all that. I think that's why I started going to trade shows and things more the last probably 6 or 7 years because I enjoy going down talking to the decorators.
But again, I never knew they existed.
I didn't till a
I was
few
in my
years ago.
bubble,
Yeah,
and like you say, with Paula's one, which she does in Bolton, and a National Paint Show, people now are starting to put that in their diary. And some people are like, oh, you can't afford to have a couple of days off work or whatever. But it is such a good opportunity to network and connect with
well, that's
people.
it. I going down the Bolton one this year.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's a yeah, it's a 3rd and 4th of June this year.
Yeah. So I'll be coming along to that. And, we've supported Paula over the last few years in or talking about it because that's what it's all about. To me, there's no rival community. It's about
Nah,
we all
it's not.
do something different, and my difference is what I'm looking to create with connecting painters and stuff like that. Mike does his stuff and his reviews, and Paula does the events and so it's all,
Uh-huh. I think
everyone.
it's all good. It's all good.
It is all good. You got to share it because it's not about me. It's about painters ultimately. So yeah, I went. When did I go? A couple of years ago to it, and had a good time. It was quite sunny actually when I went a couple of
Yeah,
years
it
ago.
was. I think the last 2 years it's been really sunny.
Yeah, yeah, it's always a good show. And then I'm going
Fingers
to
crossed this year it's sunny.
yeah, and then I'm going to the one in Birmingham as well. I'll give that a go.
Ah, the new installer.
Yeah, be interesting to see how it goes. We
I think
want to
it'll be
promote
interesting because
promote that as
some people,
well.
yeah, because some people are saying, "Oh, is it because maybe it's too big with what?" But obviously, we'll find out when it happens. See
Yeah,
what
I
the
mean,
crack is with that.
I've seen the floor plans because we're partnering with them to promote it,
Yeah,
and it's still like you got your own section.
yeah,
Painters got their own section, but it could be really, really huge. With the other trades, I dare say they'd
yeah.
be coming in and out of like the painting bit as well. So it'd be good, something different, and it's good. Like I say, with Lisa, my wife works on it full time now, so we quite enjoy sort of visiting different places.
That's what it's all
Albeit
about.
albeit the first time, she'd go to a show, she'd be like a rabbit in, headlights, like, "What the hell? What are you talking
Ah,
about?" Now she's starting to understand about stuff.
yeah.
She's like,
My
"Gary,
wife asked once. She goes, "Oh, can I come to trade show with you? Because I'll just drop us off shopping somewhere." I said, "Wait,
yeah,
you wouldn't enjoy it because my wife doesn't want to know nothing about decorating."
no."
And I said, it's just me talking about decorating all day. You don't want to come."
Yeah. My wife's like, "You could have got in more of a desirable, industry, fashion or something like that." But having said that, when we've gone out and we've done our socials and she's really enjoyed it, we've both really grateful and enjoy it.
Yeah,
Right,
as long as
Gary?
you enjoy it, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the time. Have you had dinner yet?
Yeah, I had it I came in, just stuffed my face, then straight upstairs.
Yeah, same. But no, I mean, it's been great to talk to you.
I've enjoyed it. Like I say, I can talk about decorating all day.
We literally could, couldn't we? You know.
Yeah,
Um, but no, it's good to hear different stories, and it's good to hear that you employ people, that it's worked for you for a number of years, and you've done it really early on as well. And I think
yeah.
that's enabled you to have the life you've got and get to where you're at now. Because effectively we do work time for money in many ways.
Oh, that's it.
And
More so, the older you get, you want to look back and say, "I've worked all them years now for like a nice lifestyle."
yes,
Because you read all these people where they're working and the on the bones of their backside, so to speak, and
yeah,
you work, you want a nice lifestyle, you want the holidays, you want, like I say, a nice tidy house and things,
yes,
and that's why you work at the end of the day.
yeah. We'd have to talk again for another subject about pricing and stuff like that because you you want to get that right as well and know
Oh,
what your
exactly.
worth is. And I
That's
know
it. It's a hard one at the moment, I think, out there,
it
because a
is
lot of people
hard.
are saying that they're cutting prices and all sorts.
Yeah,
But you got to stick by it. But like I say, we'll maybe that's chat for another day.
yeah.
Because
And
I've always like stuck by me pricing.
I know you like your holidays. You like
All right,
Judith
one or two, yeah.
Chalmers, like a few of my members. For
Yeah.
the younger viewers, they won't know who the hell she is,
No.
but yeah,
Good,
I
good.
that's my goal to have more holidays. We have one a year, but yeah,
Because
I think
I look back to years ago when I first started out. I sacrificed holidays.
mm, yeah,
Basically, like I remember once my wife first got together, we were going to go on holiday, and I got this job where it was like night shift in a pub.
yeah,
I said, "Oh, I can't go, so you go away yourself with my stepdaughter
yeah,
and things like that." No, again, summer was my busiest time, so I wouldn't go in the summer. And when I look back, it was probably quite stupid. So I think I'm making up for it now.
yeah. Too right. Have as many as you can.
Damn right.
Yeah, good stuff, Gary. Well, I really appreciate you taking time out.
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I'll press stop now and say a quick goodbye. But yeah, have a good evening.
Will do. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.